Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Front Row Access Podcast. I am your host, Steven Russo.
I'm Anthony Gonzalez.
Let's fucking get it. All right, guys. It's fight week. It's fight week at the time of this recording. UFC 306 is going down this weekend between Sugar Sean O'Malley defending his Bantamweight Championship against Merab Dvalishvili. It should be a pretty good fight. But that was last episode, guys. Just to recap, though, we're taking Sean O'Malley by whatever round he wants.
Yeah.
Whatever round he wants, either finish or decision. And we're also taking Alexa Grasso by late finish, or at least for me, I called a late finish for Alexa Grasso. I think you might have called it a decision.
Yeah.
Alrighty, and then we also have Brian Ortega and Diego Lopez. I believe in Brian Ortega.
He will show up.
I believe in Brian Ortega, so I'm going to take Brian Ortega, but I will not be shocked, and I won't be that upset if Diego Lopez ends up winning. That guy just keeps on winning. Maybe it's his time. Who the hell knows? But we also have Raul Rosas Jr. on the card. We also have Rene Aldana on the card, both of which we took to win their respective matchups. And, yeah. Should be a pretty fun night at the UFC, at the Sphere in Las Vegas. So, $2,000 a fucking ticket, man. Totally worth it.
Not that we were looking up prices.
Not that we were looking up prices to see if we can do a last-minute trip to go there. What? Yeah, so, but guys, if you remember, at the end of last episode, if you've been listening in sequential order, I mentioned that there's been some big news regarding my favorite band in the world, Linkin Park. So, finally, we're making headlines again, for better or for worse. But we're in it. We're back, baby. Oh, we're back. And Linkin Park has gotten a new singer. Her name is Emily Armstrong. She is the former lead singer of the band Dead Sarah. And they also have a new album coming out called From Zero. It's set to be released on November 15th of this year. And there's a new tour that started off just this past Wednesday on September 11th. And I'm actually going to the second show on the tour that's going to happening in Brooklyn, New York on September... What's that date? Would it be the 16th?
Yeah.
Yep. So, on the 16th. And I am fucking stoked, man. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm finally gonna fucking see Linkin Park live. Yes, I know it's not Chester Bennington. It's a little different. We're gonna address that more later. But I'm excited, man. I'm ready to go. I saw the set list got leaked online, and I'm like heavily anticipating this show. Luckily, I only have to wait 2 more days, and I'll be there. And 3 more days technically. But regardless, I'm extremely happy that I'm going to this show in New York. Linkin Park has been my bucket list band that I wanted to see live. I didn't care if they got a new singer. I didn't care if it was just Mike Shinoda. I don't care. I just wanted to see somebody from Linkin Park, because they are now that'd be one off the bucket list. I have 3 concerts that I want to see, and one of them's coming true. I got Linkin Park coming on this Monday. I also want to see Eminem, and I also want to see Bruno Mars before I kick the bucket. So, anytime any of them are around, I'm going to try to get some tickets. So, yeah, that's that. So, with Linkin Park's new revival, I'm going to call it, we had a new song get released last Thursday at about maybe 6 p.m. here on the East Coast. And it's called The Emptiness Machine, and we're going to go over that song in just a second. And then we're also going to be going over our feelings on the whole everything else surrounding Linkin Park later on. But let's look at the art right now, because that is primarily why we're here, right? We want to go over the song. We want to go over how relatable it is, the deep meanings underneath it, and all of that. So let's get started with the Emptiness Machine fucking breakdown. Let's get it. So, we start off with Mike Shinoda, which I think was a great call, wouldn't you say? It kind of eases them in, no?
It really sets the stage because it's a big change, and if we know one thing is that people are adverse to changes.
Extremely adverse to changes. So, I mean, Mike Shinoda coming in with the familiar before we get to the unfamiliar, I think was a great call on the production of the song's part. I also think, we'll get to it after we're done with the song, I think this whole song was the perfect song to release with this revival of the band. But we start off with Mike Shinoda singing like he normally does, doing what he does best, creating art. And it says your blades are sharpened with precision, flashing your favorite point of view. So that's already a fucking shit ton right there. So your blades are sharpened with precision, flashing your favorite point of view. So, I mean, that kind of just I think it can be like anything that Linkin Park puts out. It's very lucrative. You can interpret it in your own way, but I kind of see this as like looking at it from like the inward perspective, like from the eyes of Linkin Park, getting ready to like obviously hop into this new era of their band, and they know that there are people that are going to want to like poke them down, stab them down, because they're not going to be happy. Like there's people going to have some pitchforks. So your blades are sharpened with precision, flashing your favorite point of view. Which the flashing your favorite point of view line is kind of sick because like if you look at a blade, sometimes when it's like really really polished, you can see like your reflection in it. But I think it's like the critics and people that criticize the band are going to be right there in that moment, pointing their spear at you, like ready to give you every reason why they don't like this. Or what did you say?
The way I see that first part the same, and to get more in depth with the second part, um, with your favorite point of view, it's if it's not what you want to happen, you're gonna cut it down with the blade. Like that's they already know this, and that's why this is how you open the song up.
And it's just those first two lines alone is absolutely insane way to start off the song. Then we go into I know you're waiting in the distance just like you always do, repeated twice just like you always do. So, I know you're waiting in the distance. Those armchair critics are sitting there at home on the couch not knowing shit about the music industry and they're going to be like, "That's not what we want." So, uh, that's I think what he's saying is, I know you're waiting in the distance with your pitchforks, with your spears, just getting ready for this to happen. Like I'm already anticipating that I'm going to get mad fucking backlash for this, but he also gives it a familiarity, just like you always do, just like you always do. Now, I don't mean to be the one to say this, but Linkin Park fans, there's a good amount of them that just fucking suck. So, it happened with when they released Minutes to Midnight after it sounded wildly different from Meteora. People were like, "This isn't Linkin Park anymore." Da 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 da. Then, of course, when they released A Thousand Suns, Living Things, and even recently with One More Light, their most recent album to date, I remember pretty vividly because I was a fan of them already at the time, and I was in seventh grade when One More Light came out. So I remember on YouTube like listening to the new Linkin Park album, enjoying it because I was enjoying it, and then reading the comments like this isn't what I expected. This sucks. Go back to Hybrid Theory. I'm like, all right, Hybrid Theory was great, but like that was 20 fucking years ago, man. That like you can't keep the same sound over and over again. And I think that's what Mike was kind of portraying here, at least how I'm interpreting it, just like you always do. Because I mean, there's always going to be people that are unhappy with whatever move you make. It doesn't matter what you do. So I think it just doubles down on that, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, I would say this is definitely targeted specifically for that good old saying, haters gonna hate. We got a couple of you guys here. We love you.
We love you.
We love
Love
the
the haters.
interaction. We love them. Comments, everything. We'll take it all. But yeah, because the thing is, it goes back to that people are adverse to change, and a problem, a real problem with a lot of artistry and whatnot is that people will impose their own idea on it. And if it's not the way that they want it, if it's not what they want to see or hear, then they're gonna hate it.
And I mean, even like it goes back to like the Eminem argument too. I mean, and how many people have you heard that say, "Oh, go back to Marshall
They
Mathers
want the old
LP.
shady
You want the
back.
old shady da 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 da
Yeah.
da. Can't fucking grow up." So, it happens over and over and over again. People always saying like, people are so quick to like call somebody a sellout. You know what I mean? People are so quick to just get mad at it. and mad at anything.
I am now laughing my ass off because you just brought it to Eminem, and I'm just picturing those guys. And if you're there, just let me know if this impersonation is accurate. Why can't you rap about being broken white anymore?
Why can't you focus on that, man? Well, because he's not broke anymore. So, I mean, I don't know, but I think this is already like Emptiness Machine's coming in with like a whole lot of like I would say anti-critical like lyrics
Yeah,
here.
this is all just a really good setup for the big reveal that's gonna happen.
In just a couple of moments. You can also put this in a context of like a friendship or a relationship as well. Blades are sharpened with precision, flashing your favorite point of view. Waiting in the distance, just like you always do. Like that one motherfucker that's constantly trying to drag you down. You know, you can think of it in like a relationship sense too, or a friendship sense. Like if you have a bad friend or a bad girlfriend, boyfriend, whomever the fuck, you could see it in that context. But from my eyes, I see it from like Mike Shinoda talking directly to the people that are about to hate and have been hating for years now. So, I mean, and then we get into our pre-chorus here. Mike Shinoda's like already pulling me in. See, I'm gonna start singing this shit already under my skin, and I know exactly how this ends. So it's like people out there, like those armchair critics. You know, they're always like pulling you in, and they're like completely sucking the soul like right out of you, like this. You know, and then it's already under the skin. He's already knows that he's gonna get pissed off, you know, and he's like already under my skin. You're already pulling me in. You're already winning. You're getting to me, you know, but it happens all the time. And then he goes, I know exactly how this ends, and he goes and just absolutely just confirms what I just said there. I know exactly how this ends. Like this is how it's gonna be every time something happens. And I think that was just Mike's way of saying, like, yeah, it's getting to me, but I know, like, this isn't how it's going to end. I know exactly how this ends. What didn't you say? Anything, any comment on that one?
So, especially when Linkin Park first was coming out and whatnot, believe it or not, they received a lot of backlash for the way their songs were portraying uh, artists and people in general. So yeah, I believe this is just him saying, I've dealt, with critics before. I know how this goes. I know all the tricks that you guys are gonna pull, and I know what the outcome of it is going to be.
And you were fortunate enough to be, like, alive when Linkin Park blew up. I wasn't. I wasn't born until a little bit after. But, so did they receive backlash when they, like, first started coming out? Were they portrayed as, like, something really bad?
Well, this it's weirdly enough, I would akin this to like a generational gap thing. It's the same way like my parent, my mom would not let me listen to Eminem because it like imposed violence in the same way that this would impose depression and suicidal tendencies.
Yeah.
That's what the main no, this is bad,
Came
stage
from.
comes from.
Yeah. So, yeah, because I wasn't alive for that one, y'all. So, especially when they were first coming out, from what I hear from like people that I've talked to that are older than me, and yourself included, like it was kind of sudden the way they came in, like they kind of just poof, here we are. And but yeah, so we're gonna go right into the chorus now. I know exactly how this ends. I let you cut me open just to watch me bleed. Gave up who I am for who you wanted me to be. So once again, it's like he's almost like, all right, yeah, I know I'm gonna get mad at this. So it's already pulling me in. So I'm just gonna. I've let myself get cut open by these critics before, and let myself take in it in a way that's been like kind of mild, just so they could watch me bleed. Because haters gonna hate, right? So when haters gonna hate, most of the time they just want to see you bleed out dry.
The same
And
for this podcast is just gonna be haters gonna hate.
yeah, so I just like anything else in life. So I believe that's what he's trying to portray here. Cut me open just to watch me bleed. Gave up who I am for who you wanted me to be. That's like being an absolute like slave to the critics. And I'm sure at some point in time, like there are points in time where Mike Shinoda did give in to it and did change something because that's not what everybody wanted. You know. But And then he says, I don't know why I'm hoping for what I won't receive, which is true. So, like, I'm doing all this hoping that you're going to like me. But then in return, when I give you something that I think you're going to like, you come and spit it right back out in my face. All right, and what's your take on this whole thing?
So yeah, this also is a really core message that I feel needs to be stated is that you gotta be you because you're empty and cut open if you just a puppet and do as like the
As
critics
everybody
say
says.
and as the general public say. You yeah, you might make some happy, but you're not making yourself happy and that's more important.
In general public can never be pleased anyway. And I think that's also what he's trying to get out here. Don't know why I'm hoping for what I won't receive. Because he knows that no matter what I do, you guys are just gonna find a way to chew it up and spit in my face. Like,
There's always gonna be a hater and that's always gonna speak louder to the artist. And I've heard that many times from many different artists say that, yeah, I have a fan base. Say the fan base is, let's go small, 30,000.
yeah.
Say you have like 4,000 haters. You're going to hear them more often because they always make a fuss about it.
And they make a big scene out of it. Like I mentioned earlier, there'd be one loud ass freaking minority when the majority of fans like enjoy what's going on. And I think that's what he's trying to get out here. And he's fallen for the promise of the emptiness machine. The emptiness machine. So I mean, that emptiness machine. What is the emptiness machine? You can think of it as the critics in the magazines. You can think of them as social media. You can think of it because that's what social media is, honestly.
Public image.
Public image and whatnot. Like it is just an emptiness machine. You feed into it and you get nothing back out of it. Like, and it's not like a vending machine where you put the money in there and then you get a snack or a drink. Nah, it's an emptiness machine. You put something in there and you get nothing.
It could also go even deeper because the more you give, the more empty you'll feel.
Yeah. And that's you're feeding into the emptiness machine. It's sucking you in. It's pulling you in. It's under your skin. So, and then we go into our next verse where we get the introduction of Emily Armstrong after Mike Shinoda's kind of quota here when he's like already I already know exactly how this ends. And now it's time to reveal exactly why people aren't gonna like it. So here comes Emily Armstrong. She comes in with a very she guys has like a bit of a grittier voice when she comes in, and it goes going around like a revolver. It's been decided how we lose. So like constantly, I'm thinking what they're trying to portray here is like constantly if you're trying to feed into that public notion, it's going around and around and around and around. It's never gonna stop, and you're never gonna get anything out of it. And then like a revolver, it ends up being the revolver's a gun, so like a type of handgun. So there can be some like double double meaning under that. Like I'm constantly going around, but I know ultimately in the end it's just gonna kill me. You know?
Another meaning I get from that is, say you're trying to please everyone, you're in the end gonna please no one. Oh, I can please you right now. Oh, I'm gonna try pleasing him. You don't like that. Oh, I gotta please him. You don't like that, and it's just going around, and it really makes you less than what you were.
Yeah, and then like the back to the revolver notion. It's like it's gonna kill you. It's going around, but it's gonna kill you. So I mean, and then it's been decided how we lose. Like it's already been like they already know like this is we're gonna get fucking hate for this. That just kind of admits it right there. It's been decided how we lose. Like I know like this is exactly how it ends. You know.
I feel like this also really sets up, like, in my mind, like when the group is making this song, it really brings merit to the fact that for Linkin Park and especially a move like this, it's probably a net zero to a net negative because no matter what, someone's gonna hate it.
Someone's gonna hate it, or people are gonna drop off because of it.
Yeah, exactly. So you're not really expecting to gain more from it, and you might, which is good, but you're expecting your net is either zero at best or losing something.
So,
But I also think this is good because you're willing to put that out there. You're
mm-hmm.
willing to do something instead of just
Sitting there. Like,
exactly.
which is what Linkin Park has been doing for 7 years. I don't want to say just sitting there, obviously. Bands are families, guys. I'm going to say it that way. Straight up. Bands are families, and when you lose a member of the band or a member of the family, you're going to mourn for quite some time, and that's exactly what happened. Obviously, death of Chester Bennington on July 20th, 2017, man. Probably one of the worst days of my life. I'll be completely honest with you. I've never cried over somebody that I didn't know until Chester Bennington died. So, I mean, it's because their music's so damn personal. It almost feels like you did know Chester. But when you lose your bandmate, like you lose Chester Bennington, you're gonna be like constantly questioning where am I gonna go, and that's what they've been doing for like the past 7 years, just trying to sort everything out. They've been healing themselves. They've been doing all of that, and now they're deciding to make a comeback, and then but they know that as soon as they start the comeback, it's not going to get the best reception. So it's been decided how we lose, you know?
Honestly, this is kind of a lot like how we figure this podcast is gonna go.
Yeah, like bro, to be honest, I'm not expecting this to go anywhere. But I'm just doing it cuz I think it's fun and I'm doing it cuz I like it. It gives me some practice with my current major choice right now, which is communications. So,
Oh no, no, this is going places. I meant this episode. No one's gonna
oh,
like
nobody's liking this
this episode.
episode. Oh, we are pissing so many people off right
And we
now.
haven't even gone to that part yet.
Exactly. So, I mean, I think that's what it's going down here. And I mean, they took their 7 years away from the scene, and I think that was the right move, taking a step away. Because if if Linkin Park, I'm gonna go way into it. I'm not gonna go way into it now, but they did the right move. And now that they're coming back, they already kind of know. Ugh, yeah, this isn't gonna go very well. And then we go because there's a fire, and then Emily continues by saying because there's a fire under the altar that I keep on lying to. I keep on lying to. That's a bit of a harder line to dissect. I can't really get much of a meaning out of it myself. But like, if I think of an altar, I'm thinking of a church. I'm thinking of like, where the priest, rabbi, whoever is at the front, and there's a fire underneath it. Could the fire under the altar be like their hype for the band? Could it be like, yeah, so this the altar is like where the band will stand on. Like,
What are the lyrics exactly? Like verbatim?
uh so like the whole verse.
For the fire and the altar.
All right, cuz there's a fire under the altar that I keep on lying to. That I keep on lying to.
So the thing is with this, and I'm just sorry to cut you off there ish,
Mm-mm.
but it's because you like I've listened to a lot of music, and this is just gonna be my take on it. So blame all you want, but the to me the fire in the altar, that's actually to Chester in regards that right now she she knows that she's no Chester, guys.
Absolutely
She
not.
knows that.
Yep.
So it's like it's like that altar is Linkin Park with Chester. And she's not going in there to replace Chester. She's going in there to help move forward. So can't be like she can't be part of the old Linkin Park that everyone likes or that everyone, chants for because she isn't Chester. She's she's freaking Amanda Armstrong? Armstrong?
Emily.
Emily Armstrong.
Yep.
That's who she is. But that's what I get from this particular line.
All right, we have audience participation. All right. So, ah, all right. So, fire under an altar, so it could be her again. Okay. So, all right. So, Isaac and our live studio audience, because they can interact with this podcast. They just don't typically do it. But he had a comment saying that altar is also like a sacrificial place where like sacrifices happen. If there's a fire under the altar, it could be the it could be her getting burned at the stake for being a part of Linkin Park, which could very much, yeah, that's actually a really good interpretation. So, yeah, that's a pretty good one. and she keeps on lying to the altar. So that's the part that we gotta kind of do it, and that could be go back to your point, like the altar is like the Lincoln Park that everybody knows. It's higher up. She keeps on lying to this altar, like I know I'm not this, but I'm going to want to be a part of something, which that we'll get into that one later. And we go back into the chorus, already pulling me in, already under my skin. I know exactly how this ends. And then she comes in just by herself on this chorus. And then she like goes from having like this little raspy voice to like projecting. She like gets like very loud and very raspy here. And she's like, "Let you cut me open just to watch me bleed. Gave up who I am for who you wanted me to be." And this is the part of the song where I was like, "Oh hell yeah!" Like this girl's it, man. Like when she like did the chorus on her own after hearing Mike do the chorus, I was already kind of familiar with it, you know, taking mental notes because I have to memorize every single Linkin Park song by the lyrics. So, I'm already kind of familiar with it. It's playing in the back of my mind, but when I heard her go from that quietness to then belting out in like with the chorus, I was like, "Oh, hell yeah." Cuz like originally, I'm going to be honest, I was like, I don't know if like I'm not gonna say I don't think like Linkin Park should change the name, but like I was thinking like, how are they gonna attack this? How is she gonna fit with the whole new Linkin Park era, right? And I'm like, this was the part of the song that like made me realize, yeah, this is Linkin Park, man. It's just a different person with the microphone, and but like when I heard her sing the chorus the way that she did, and the way that she did it, the way how much passion it sounded, how much passion there was in her voice when she's like, "Let you cut me open just to watch me bleed," because like to be honest, that's kind of what the internet's doing to poor Emily Armstrong right now. But when she sang with that kind of passion and that kind of grit, I was like, "Oh hell yeah, that's Linkin Park." You know, because like that's how they were known. Chester was known for singing with so much emotion, with so much passion, and so much talent. Because obviously he's Chester fucking Bennington, one of a kind. Fucking love the guy. Or rest in peace. But like when I heard her sing with such passion, that's when I was like, oh hell yeah, oh yeah, this is Linkin Park. Oh, what did you think when you heard that first chorus of Emily Armstrong?
So that did make the statement that this is how we are moving forward. And before, whereas it might have been vocalists, singing a part for a group, this made it feel a lot more materialistic that she was part of the group because you could hear the emotion, how she'd fit in, and how this group could move forward from its loss.
And I mean, obviously, the Chester shoes, some huge ones to fill. They'll never truly be filled completely. And I think even Emily knows that. But like when I heard her sing like this, man, I was like, "Oh my god, yeah, this is 100% a Linkin Park song." And even when you're listening to the sound of it, like if you're listening to the song, I didn't want to say like what it sounded like until like the end, but I'm going to do it anyway right now. But like this song sounds it gives me a lot of like Minutes to Midnight vibes, you know, like how Minutes to Midnight sounded is kind of how I'm interpreting Emptiness Machine right now. And like so when I'm no, what was the point I was trying to make with that? Fuck. But you know, it sounded like okay, yeah, I got it. So when the instruments kicked in, when the drums kicked in, when the guitar started going, and then she was singing like that, it gave me that kind of it gave me that kind of sound like it was Minutes to Midnighty, and therefore it sounded like Linkin Park. Like not only was I mean obviously it's not going to be exact. It's not Chester Bennington, but with the background sound, the way it was delivered, and how it sounds a lot like a Minutes to Midnighty kind of track, that made me like think to myself, oh yeah, this is definitely Linkin Park. That was the point I was trying to make. It sounded
It's
like it. It sounded
it's
like a Linkin Park
still
song.
Linkin Park,
Hmm.
just with a bit of a different flavor, and I don't think it's right to say she's gonna fill Chester's shoes.
Cause she can't.
No, I think honestly, like my best interpretation is, unfortunately, you know, we can't continue on that path. So next to Chester and trying to move forward with the group is how I think about that.
Yeah, and like when I heard the chorus, the instruments come in, I was like, "Oh yeah, this sounds like Linkin Park." You know, like it sound. If you go and you listen to Emptiness Machine, it sounds like a Linkin Park song. Like it would have been on Minutes to Midnight somewhere. And then we go into our bridge here with Mike and Emily Armstrong singing at the same time. I only wanted to be part of something. Part of something. Only wanted to be part of something. Part of something. It just kind of goes into like what their mentality is like, or specifically, I guess Emily's mentality. Like, I only wanted to be a part of the band. I didn't want to replace anybody. I didn't want to say I'm the face of Linkin Park now. I only wanted to be part of this family, of this music group, of this era of Linkin Park, you know? I only wanted to be part of something, and like the way she's saying, they're saying I only wanted to be part of something, gives a sense of desperation. Like you're getting so much hate, you're getting dragged down so much, you're getting cut open so much, you're bleeding so much, you're like, but I only wanted to be part of something, man. I didn't want to do all of this. You know, I didn't never claim to be Chester Bennington. I never claimed that I could fill his shoes. I just wanted to be a part of his legacy that he left behind. And like it's the same with Mike too. I mean like his whole life's work is Linkin Park. And this is his baby. And like he only wanted to be part of something and he was part of something for years and he had a great, absolutely tremendous run. And then it got taken away. And then like he didn't know how to restart it. So once again, he's just going back to maybe like what 19-year-old Mike Shinoda was thinking, like I only wanted to be part of something. And it's just been so hard. It's been such a rough road. And now here I am, still trying to live my dream, and I keep getting flamed for it. And that's how I feel from like both the perspectives of Emily and Mike. What would you think from that bridge there?
100%. I agree entirely. A lot of the problems I see with what I'm gonna say are superstars, but many people in media is the baggage that comes with doing what they love to do,
Yeah,
and it's not healthy at all. And that is kind of the negative aspect that we see a lot of nowadays.
mm-hmm.
So I just think that the baggage is what makes this chorus so meaningful because they they just put out a song. That's what they want to do. They want to keep making music. They want to move forward. They don't want to be at a standstill, and this is how they're doing it. But they know that the baggage from before and all the fans from before, they're not all gonna like it, and they probably know that the loudest of the people are gonna be all the hate that they hear.
Which is just unfortunate. But that is a great like take on it. And then we go back into the final chorus with Emily singing "Let You Cut Me Open Just to Watch Me Bleed." Gave up who I am for who you wanted me to be. Don't know why I'm hoping. And then she adds a little something at the end here at the final chorus. Don't know why I'm hoping. I'm so fucking naive. And falling for the promise of the emptiness machine. I don't know why she put that naivety thing in there. Do you got a reason?
Well, we'll get more into it later, but I'm gonna say that the amount that she's suffering is more than expected. Because you gotta think, especially with the music industry,
I mean, ruthless.
and especially with Linkin Park as a group, literally, if not the entire world, then everyone on this continent has their eyes on her and how this is gonna play out and how it's gonna move.
Keeps getting fed into the emptiness machine.
But that's what I get from that.
And then we go out, we do our outro with Emily Armstrong and Mike Shinoda joined once again. Mike Shinoda saying I only wanted to be a part of something. Emily saying the emptiness machine only wanted to be a part of something, the emptiness machine. And it's like it showed how like Mike and Emily's voices are gonna blend a whole lot because like that was a big part of Linkin Park was how Chester and Mike were able to blend with each other. And obviously can't be replicated. But we got a preview of how they would both sound together through this little outro here and how they mesh together. And I gotta tell you, it doesn't sound that bad. Now, that's the whole song. I absolutely love The Emptiness Machine. It is the number one song on my Spotify on repeat right now. I think I have listened to it a total of like probably 100 something times now. And I absolutely love this song. I give this song for a Linkin Park comeback song, and I didn't really know what to expect because, like, part of me was like, okay, I'm excited that they got a new vocalist. I'm excited that they're making new music, but I didn't really know what to expect going into it. And when I heard Emily, especially in that first chorus, sing like the way she did, I was like, okay. Like, I didn't really have much expectation going in. I was like, kind of went in there like observing. I remember my face being pretty stoned face when I was first listening to it. But then when I heard the first chorus, I was I was like, oh yeah, this is it. And then yeah, I'm like, oh, we're back, baby. Because like obviously you never know. Like I had all this come into me at once, but I'm like, oh, this is so exciting. Linkin Park's back, but at the same time, like, is it going to be the same? Is it going to be good? I don't know how I feel about Emily joining. I miss Chester, and I'm always going to miss Chester, but I had like a lot of apprehension when I first listened to this song, but also a lot of excitement. It's really hard to explain. And because I mean, obviously, when your favorite band comes back from a 7 year fucking hiatus, you're gonna get excited about it. But then I had the second thoughts, like, oh, what if it's not the same? What if What if I don't like it? Then what? How's she gonna sound? But then, as soon as I heard her sing, man, I was like, "Oh, we're back, baby! Oh, we're fucking back!" And then I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm fucking here for it, man." I think she's got a great voice. I've said it 1,000 times in this podcast, just because I need you guys to know that I don't think Chester's replaceable. He's not. But Emily is a good addition. It took them 7 years to get a new vocalist. So obviously there was careful consideration and there was a decent amount of mourning that had to happen before they could even start looking. And then when they start looking, you have to try to find somebody that you work well with, that you blend with well, who could fit the impossible role of being the front man of Linkin Park or front woman for this matter. And then they chose Emily, and I think that was the right move. I mean, there are a lot of like people that could have been that were thought of to be like the new singer of Linkin Park. There was another girl. There's Amy Lee from Evanescence. People were thinking maybe she'll end up being with Linkin Park now, but nah, she's still killing it with Evanescence. But then people were thinking maybe the guy from Sum 41, the lead singer of Sum 41, because he did a performance of Faint shortly after Chester died with Mike Shinoda, and it was a very good cover of Faint that he did. And there was a lot of people thinking like, oh, who could they possibly bring back? Who could they possibly bring to like let this band move forward, or is the band just gonna die? And it took them 7 years. It took us 7 years of just wondering, of guessing where everything's gonna go. And then when we finally got it, I got really excited. But then was like, whoa, hold on, let me take a minute here. Let me listen. Let me give it a shot because this is Linkin Park, and they've given me all of this entertainment, all of this relatability, all these special lyrics that have hit my heart and still mean so much to me now. And I'm like, the least I can do is trust them with their vocalist choice. Right? And then I gave him a shot. I trusted Linkin Park. I trusted Mike Shinoda. And god damn it, did they fucking deliver. But then, of course, we can't have nice things because as soon as Emily Armstrong gets added to the band, the internet fucking flamed her. All right, there's a couple of controversies that have come along with the addition of Emily Armstrong into the band. I'm not completely ignorant to that. I do know what the controversies are. I know her ties to Scientology. I know her tie, and I in no way condemn Scientology. It's very mean. They're very terrible people, and I don't understand why there's no justice, but religious freedom. So I believe they are a cult, and it's a dangerous. But I know that Emily Armstrong isn't a first generation Scientologist. She is a second generation Scientologist. So she was born into the cult. And when you're born into the cult, you're instantly a victim of the cult. I will be completely honest with you. And she definitely grew up in the Church of Scientology, 100%. But is she a part of it now? She's yet to address it. We don't know. But we do know that she was born into it. But here's the thing that sets me off with everybody saying she's a Scientologist, blah da 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 da. I'm like, hold on, she's gay, like she's openly lesbian. And last I checked, Scientology doesn't really like homosexual people. And I don't care. I love you guys. You guys are great. But I don't think Scientology loves homosexual people. They don't. Um, and I believe they think that conversion therapy is very much an effective way of shocking the gay out of you, which cannot happen. By the way, it cannot happen. But I think because she is a self-identified like lesbian and openly says she's a lesbian, the Church of Scientology probably doesn't really like that. And on top of that, she's in a band that had a member lose their life due to mental health, and Scientology refuses to acknowledge the fact that mental health exists. So, that tells me that Emily Armstrong is everything that Scientology is against. So,
I'm just thinking of that Just Be Happy Tom Cruise video where he's on the fucking couch.
yeah, man. Also, I know the Danny Masterson situation, which I think you guys are blowing. Like, Danny Masterson, obviously, he's a he was a former actor on that '70s show. He had lots of rape accusations, and he's also a part of the cult. And Emily Armstrong showed up in support of him for one day, guys. It was a 3-day trial. And it was one day, and then she even herself has condemned the actions of Danny Masterson on her own social media profile page. Like she said, I was going there to support a friend because obviously you're innocent until proven guilty here, right? That's kind of like the foundation of America. And when that happens, you're gonna go and you're gonna want to support your friend. But then once you find out, oh shit, my friend did do that. They're kind of a piece of shit. She said that she saw that she did not show up to any additional trials, and she did not. I don't think she spoke, and she said she has not spoken to him since. So that right there, man, that's just gone. And I think Emily's account herself is enough to let you know that, yeah, yeah, she definitely doesn't actually support the acts that Danny Masterson committed. And what are your comments on the Scientology and Danny Masterson shit?
So, comments on Scientology. That was the funniest episode of South Park.
It really was.
A great episode of South Park. My own opinion of it, and I hope nothing happens because of it, is that they are a cult.
Oh, of course.
A very dangerous cult.
Uh-huh.
And they have people in places that help save their ass from being taken to justice. But I personally probably wouldn't ever associate with them on any level.
No.
And as for the Danny Masterson thing, I watched that '70s show. It was hilarious, and you're a piece of shit.
What do you think about the whole Emily Armstrong being tied to it and whatnot? Because we are talking about Emily, so.
So I don't see any merit in either of these claims with her ties to both of them, because as you said, she only went for the first day, and then she found out that this might not be the guy that I thought he was.
He's a piece of shit. And then she never showed up to another trial and hasn't spoken to him since. That was 2020, guys.
The Scientology thing I do think needs to be addressed.
Yeah, she's yet to publicly address it, and I think her fucking PR manager should just be fucking fired, or hired if she doesn't have one.
But I don't actually know what because I'm told that these guys they use everything, every piece of dirt that they have, they dig up and throw at you to trash your reputation if you speak out against them.
Yeah, and I mean, anybody who's born into it is instantly a victim of it. And in Emily Armstrong's case, she's a victim of it. 100%. I mean, she might have grown up that way, but I do not think she still holds those beliefs now. But she's yet to address it, which I think she needs to address it very sooner rather than later, because that's the main gripe that many people have with her. And I can only do what I can only give you guys what I know. And I know that she is openly queer person, and she also is in a group that sings about mental health and had somebody tragically lose their life because of mental health. Both of those things Scientology doesn't believe in, so I have the right to say I don't know if I don't think she's in it or she follows it anyway in any way. And also, I think there's a thing with Scientology. I could be wrong. I have not researched them too much. I do know about their heredities, but I don't know too much about their operation. And I do believe that there's a way that you can silently leave the cult, but the minute that you speak out against them publicly, then they start to do the blackmailing, digging up dirt on you and whatnot, like they did to Travolta, you know? So, maybe Emily silently left and she's just not speaking on it because of that. But I have no idea, and I think it needs to be addressed sooner rather than later. But as of right now, I also have to bring up this argument as well. Whatever happened to separating the art from the artist? That is something that should be commonly done. Like, look at me. I like, this is a terrible example. I like, but I'm going to do it anyway. I like MGK, right? But I personally think Machine Gun Kelly himself is a piece of shit. And anytime I see bad headlines for Machine Gun Kelly, I'm not surprised. But god damn it, will I bop to his music? Tom Cruise, a very notable Scientologist. Uh, I know he's a notable Scientologist. He's a big person for it. He's like their main evangelist. But and I don't like that because I also think he's also a douchebag. And but god damn it, do I like Top Gun? I think I fucking love Top Gun. Like that's a great movie. And that's like how I feel about it that way. Like those are the best examples that I can give. And plus, I love the song, the remix to Ignition by R. Kelly. And guess what? R. Kelly's a piece of fucking trash. But goddamn it, am I gonna bump Ignition? Well, remix to Ignition, not the original Ignition. Don't listen to that.
Don't look that up.
Don't listen to that. It's fucking terrible. I also love his song "Bump and Grind," but I don't like R. Kelly. I will never ever defend him as a person, but I like his music. You know, and so not that that's like the strongest argument here because we don't even know if Emily is still strongly involved with them, but I can separate art from artists. I mean, look at Steve Jobs. I gave this example to Anthony earlier. Look at what he created. Apple, the Apple Corporation, MacBooks, iPhones, the biggest notable, like most revolutionary technologies of the modern era. Steve Jobs was an asshole. Like, he was an absolute fucking asshole. A bitter man and terrible to work with. So, but I will acknowledge the fact that he was one of the great innovators of our time. Like, he was one of the greatest people that gave way to this new digital era that we're in. This isn't possible if Steve Jobs didn't do his shit, okay? Well, Steve Jobs, many other people, but Steve Jobs, one of them. Like, there's always a way that you can acknowledge somebody's status as being amazing, but not defending their person. Look at Dr. Dre. He got arrested a shit ton of times. But goddamn it, do we like Dr. Dre?
I thought you were gonna say John Jones.
Same with John Jones. Same with John Jones. Fucking John Jones. Excellent fucking fighter. I will forever, ever, forever, until the day I die, defend how good he was in the octagon. He is in the octagon. But I will never defend John Jones as a fucking person. He's a fucking asshole. Same with Conor McGregor. But, like, there's a way that you can get around this. And to be honest, I'm more looking forward to the fact that this is a new era of Linkin Park, that this is a new direction, and that they're not staying stagnant. And and Emily is extremely talented. She has a good voice. She fits the vibe of the band. Yes, 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 yes. Chester is irreplaceable. She will never, ever, ever amount to what Chester Bennington has done. But you can give her a shot. You can like what she's doing, and I like what she's doing. She's not trying to replace Chester, guys. It's not about erasing the past. It's about moving forward into a new chapter. And that's what everybody has a hard time dealing with, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to get up on my soapbox and preach here. But, guys, things can't always stay the way that they are. As much as I wish I could go and resurrect Chester Bennington and tell him how much people loved him and get him back in the band, trust me, if I had how many Dragon Balls are there? 8? 7? I would wish him back to life. It's just, I would wish Chester Bennington back to life. But I can't do that. So I I can only trust the band for what they've given me for the past 10 years of my life now. I started listening to them when I was 10 years old. I'm 20 now. So, almost 21. So 10, almost 11 years now. I have been listening to Linkin Park, and they have done nothing but give me this feeling of acceptance, this feeling of being validated in the way I feel. Like them saying that it's okay not to be okay really fucking resonates with me. And it's something. It's a message that not only do I take to myself, that I pass on to other people. That's what Linkin Park means to me. And even right now, I'm gonna get personal here. I just switched colleges, y'all. I am having a rough time adjusting to my new college. I really am. But when Linkin Park came back, and when I saw that announcement that they were coming out with a new album, a tour, and a new song, and I absolutely loved the way Emily sang, it has been fueling me. It has been making me not feel as, I guess, like bad, alone being in this new college of mine. So, like, Linkin Park means a lot to me, and I'm going to forever defend them until the day that I fucking die. And because they mean so much to me, the least I can do is, do this for them. Let them know that I'm standing with them. Let them know that I'm here. I'm still a fan, and tell you guys why they mean so much to me and why I think you should feel the same. Because Linkin Park isn't going to change. The idea and spirit of Linkin Park still is alive, and the energy of Chester Bennington will be felt in every single performance that they give with this new era. And there's the soul of Linkin Park, the message of Linkin Park of acceptance, kindness, and being who you are, being proud of it. And nobody seems to be even accepting that message right now, and it really, really hurts me. So that's the personal feelings on it. And if you guys hate it, that's fine. I told y'all what's up. And yeah, I'm good. I ain't got nothing else. You got anything?
All right. Well, I mean, you kind of stole the fire from my forge, but
Sorry.
I said this when I first heard the song and whatnot. The thing is, stagnation is what'll kill something, and it's what makes things forgettable. This is new, and it's not meant to replace what was there. Not that you ever
It's
could. It's meant so that they can keep moving forward instead of being at a standstill. And the thing is, it's inspirational music to hear, and a lot of people do need it. And the people who are hating and flaming it, um, like I said before, can you guys bring back Chester? Uh, didn't think so. I mean,
it's unfortunate,
yeah.
but we can't.
So the fact that you aren't even trying to give them a shot really makes me doubt you were Linkin Park fans to begin with, because it was Shinoda's group,
Yeah, it was Mike Shinoda that let Chester into the group.
and
That's what you guys gotta know.
and the thing is, while Chester propelled it like a rocket propellant, he would not want it to just end there.
Yeah,
Could you imagine him just saying, "All right, you guys are done. I'm out of here. No more music for you guys." That's ridiculous in and of itself, and you all should be ashamed for thinking that. While it's a tragedy what happened, um, it doesn't give you an excuse to hate on someone trying to make the best of the situation.
taking a leap of faith. Taking a leap of faith. You know.
And oddly enough, as it is to say, one thing that I hate is hate. Honestly, I don't care whatever you identify as, whatever your orientation is. I don't give a shit, really.
Nope.
You do you. If it doesn't affect me, why the fuck would I bother?
Exactly.
So, the fact that people are intolerant of this just off the merit of, it's not Chester, is kind of absurd to me. And I'm anxiously awaiting to see how this new album does. We're definitely going to do a podcast
Album
on
review coming in.
um you're you're gonna be there Monday, so.
Fuck yeah!
I'm not saying you should bring a shiv, but I mean you're gonna be in Brooklyn. Do you?
Do you? Yep. Brooklyn. They're gonna beat my ass with a tie iron.
Yeah, I think that's a good summary.
Yeah, so guys, Linkin Park means a lot to me. And I think I've made that abundantly clear here. I'm in no way defending the Church of Scientology. No. And I'm in no way saying that Chester Bennington can be replaced. He can't. I'm just saying that this is a new step in the right direction. And I believe them choosing a female vocalist actually does more respect to Chester than disrespect. Because if they put another guy in there that just sounds a lot like Chester Bennington, that would feel more disrespectful than anything else.
That would feel more like a replacement than as a means to move forward.
Yeah, with at least with a female vocalist, it feels like a new chapter. Like the band's been revitalized, and less of just we got a Chester sound alike. Let's put him on there, and let's have this be our new Chester. The way I'm gonna describe it before we leave is the way if you were to replace the Linkin Park frontman with in Chester Bennington's place, somebody that sounds exactly like Chester Bennington, it's like this. That is how my brain's processing it. Say you have a dog, right? You had a dog that lived for 10 to 15 great years. You loved this dog. It was like it was a brown lab that you loved, right? It was a brown Labrador retriever that you loved, spent every waking moment with and did everything for. Now, unfortunately, at the end of those delightful 10 to 15 years that you had with that dog, it passes away. It goes away. And instead of moving forward and then you're going to be sad. It's going to take you a while before you can get another dog, but if you go ahead and get another brown lab in place of the brown lab you just lost, you'll see the dog, you'll look at the dog, it's going to look like your old dog, but it's just not going to feel like your old dog. It's just not going to feel right. It looks the same, yes, but it's not my dog, you know? This is a new brown lab that doesn't know anything about me. And at least, like, if you get, like, say you take the time to mourn and then you get a golden retriever, then you're going to love that animal. You're going to love that dog for the next 10 to 15 years. Or better yet, in this case, probably a better comparison would be you got a cat. Like, you got a cat instead of a dog. And it's not that you're not going to love that dog. You're going to forever hold that dog in your heart. You're going to forever hold Chester Bennington in your heart. But you're going to love that animal, that new animal, that cat. And you're going to learn to, live with it, love it the way it's supposed to be. And that's, it's nothing can replace your brown lab, but at least you got a new cat that you can love, and that's kind of how I see Emily. Like, it's not like I'm trying to replace my brown lab with another brown lab. I'm replacing my brown lab with a cat, an animal that a new experience. Like, this is a new sound for Linkin Park. We never had a female vocalist. It's like it's a new feeling. Like, owning a cat is not the same as owning a dog, but you're still going to love that animal and love that and still hold that dog close to your heart. That's how I think about it. But I don't know. That's the best comparison that I got. And that's all I got now. That's it. Anything? Yeah. Any closing regards?
No, I think that about covers it all.
That about covers it all. So anyway, we're excited for Linkin Park. We're back, baby. And we got a new album coming out from Zero, November 15th. Make sure you go and get your copies. Pre-save it on Spotify. And yeah, UFC 306 going down tomorrow night at the Sphere. Sugar Sean O'Malley defends against Merab Dvalishvili. We also have Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko. Plus
but what about the Gregor and Chandler fight?
That'll happen later. So thank you guys for tuning in, and see y'all next time.